every giant ranked. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be ranking every single giant from Skylander's giants from worst to best. So without further ado, let's get right into the ranking. Coming in 8th place, I know this is a pretty popular opinion, is Nini. Honestly, her attacks are just too slow for me, and it's not really worth using anything other than her primary attack when I'm playing as her. Her other two attacks are unique, and one of them is a decent ranged option, but her primary attack is a letdown, and it's still the only attack I ever find myself using whenever I'm using Nini. Now, in the 7th place is going to be Bouncer. The problem with this guy is he doesn't have any close range. Close range is very important for me. If you like long range attacks and prefer those over short range, you'll probably like this guy as he's got many long range options. But for me, it just doesn't work, and he's not that fun to play as when I'm using him, although he can be very powerful. In the 6th place is going to be Eyebrow. Now, this is one that I used to absolutely love. I used to love Eyebrow, but when I went back and played as him, I only use his primary attack. The other attacks just slow him down and make him more vulnerable and much easier to hit. So really his primary attack is the only viable one in combat, although the other two are pretty cool ideas. And he's still fun to use though. He's still powerful, and I like Eyebrow. Now, the 5th place is Thumpback. There's nothing particularly wrong with this guy, and he has a good variety of moves. He's just not as good as the other giants, in my opinion. His primary attack is pretty good, and it's good at close range and long range, which is always nice, and his other attacks are pretty nice to use. I like his biting down attack, but his slide, although I like mobility and dashing attacks, it's a little too clunky for my liking. Now, in 4th place is going to be Swarm. This guy I used to not like at all. Now I really like him. His primary attack is pretty strong, does good damage, and when he's flying, his primary attack becomes even better. When he's in his flight mode, this guy is like basically invincible with how fast he can move. He's the fastest giant, and he can shoot long range primary attacks. He can either be slow and do close range, short, like more powerful attacks, or be very fast and mobile and do long range, weaker attacks. So he has multiple different play styles, and his move where he turns into a swarm of bees is really cool. Now, coming in 3 is the giant that I've always liked. Is one of the giants that I've always liked the most in my first ever Skylander, being Hothead. This guy is awesome. His moves work so well together, and covering enemies in oil and then setting them on fire is just awesome, and making fire and lava rain down from the sky and creating a massive fireball above you that you can chuck at enemies is absolutely awesome. This guy's always fun to use. Coming in 2nd place is going to be Tree Rex. Most people have this guy as second. For me, or most people have this guy as first, but for me, he's 2nd place. There's nothing wrong with him. He just falls short of 1st place because I like 1st place more, but this guy is still awesome. He has an amazing primary attack and secondary attack and 3rd attack. His moveset is nearly perfect with a great mix of close range and long range and area of effect that will keep enemies away and keep him alive. This guy is absolutely stellar as a giant. Coming in 1st place is one of my favorite Skylanders ever, Crusher. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I personally really like Crusher. I think his primary attack is exactly what it means to be. It's a slow but very high damage dealing attack that can take care of many enemies in front of you, and he can hold it down, shoot out a massive blade. Looks pretty awesome. He can turn enemies to jade. He can turn into a bunch of boulders, which lets him move faster, and he can blow them up around enemies. He has a great variety of moves, both close range and mobility. I love this guy. He is one of my favorite Skylanders ever and the best giant in my opinion. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for watching. And just remember, this is just my personal opinion. If you guys have a different list or think others are better than others, then put it down in the comments down below. I'd be very interested in hearing what you guys have to say and what your guys' opinions are. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.